How many of you are in the middle, and your companies are in the middle of either implementing AI or adopting AI? Okay, so we've got a few. Any of you seen this? Hands up, who knows what this is? Okay, we've got one person. We've got two people. So this is an exercise that a Reddit user ran a few weeks ago. If you know the recent social media trend that goes, create an exact replica of this image, he actually put that on steroids and said, create an exact replica of this picture, which is the beautiful rock. And he goes, do it 101 times. So he ran that exercise 101 times with ChatGPT. This is the picture we started with. ChatGPT prompt was, do not change a thing. Halfway through, that's the second picture. A little ways over, you have blue lips, and I'm not quite sure who that person is. At the end, we have abstract art, courtesy of ChatGPT. So this is what you're dealing with today with AI. I know we've heard a lot of talk saying, look, AI is going to change the world, it's changing the enterprise, it's changing business. Yeah, you're still dealing with this. So if that is reality, what does it look like in our businesses? And just so you are aware, for the folks that are new here, I am the CEO of SENEN Group. We are a data and AI company. We do everything from data and AI strategy to operationalization to literacy to custom AI solutions and managed services. So we work with a lot of clients, usually Fortune 500s, but sometimes very large multinationals, international brands and firms. And what we find is the AI journey is not as seamless and not as exciting as it's made out to be. In fact, you may have heard this statistic already, over 80% of AI initiatives fail. 80%. Over 85 companies last year had started AI initiatives. Over 80% of those initiatives have failed. So you can do the math as to how many companies are really succeeding with their AI projects. The other thing that MIT recently came out with last year, late last year, was that over 95% of Gen AI projects fail within the first 6 months when it comes to ROI. So what we're seeing in my business, in working with customers, we work with retail, we work with construction, we work with finance, we work with energy and utilities, we work with a wide array of industries, but there is one common theme. We have started an AI initiative. We thought we were going to be okay. We're not okay. Okay, can you please help us? That's how the conversation goes when we meet companies. So let's take a step back and let's think about what happened recently. So you've got 2022, which is the rise of generative AI. This is when ChatGPT went, hello world, here I am. I'm called Gen AI. That moment right there brought AI as a concept to the masses. In fact, AI has been around a lot longer, decades longer, and many of you should know this, it's called machine learning, a lot longer than when Sam Altman decided to drop ChatGPT in your world. Then we've got 2023, and this is an enterprise perspective. 2023 was the year of, oh my word, what do we do? Everybody's talking about AI, everybody is doing AI, and it's funny because Company A goes, we're doing AI. Their competitor, Company B, goes, oh my God, Company A is doing AI. We need to do AI. Company C goes, Company A and B are doing AI. We need to do AI. So there was a lot of panic across the board as to, look, AI has hit the market. It's going to change the world. It's going to change how we work. It's going to change how we think. It's going to change how we drink coffee, for all that matters. So everybody started panicking and going, we don't know what to do. Then, in 2024, you've got the year of FOMO. Company A has ChatGPT. 500 users are using ChatGPT in Company A. We don't have ChatGPT. What do? Well, do you need ChatGPT? Isn't that a good question to start with? But anyways, that was the reality, 2024. Oh my goodness, we need to implement AI. That was the conversation. Not company A is doing this, not company B is doing this. We need to implement AI. That was what we heard in 2024. 2025, where are my CFOs? Any CFOs in the room? None? Well, I would have loved a finance person in the room because 2025 would be the year the CFO goes, wait a second, where is my ROI? So a lot of the conversations that we've had, doesn't matter what industry, 2025, we're sitting in front of the CFO, the CEO, and the board, and they're going, look, we have invested X million dollars in my AI initiative, and this is the return that I'm getting. We need help as a company. That was the year of awakening. This is what I call the rude awakening when it comes to Gen AI. And now we've moved into 2026. Any of you been to Davos this year? Oh, good, we have one person. So, sir, you should know this. The whole talk around AI was how do we make AI practical? And 2026 really is that year. CEOs are going, what do we do with our ROI? CFOs are going, where is my ROI? 2026 is the year to move beyond your hype, your ChatGPTs, your Claudes, your Llamas of the world, and really get into, look, what are we actually getting? What do we expect from AI? So 2026 to me is the year when we sit down and we talk about the real stuff. So why did AI projects fail? Forget the competition, forget the panic, forget the FOMO. Let's get real. Why did projects fail? To me, when ChatGPT first came out, when Gen AI first came out, people go, the board and the companies go, look, we need to implement AI. In what department? Tech? Business? Where are we doing this? That's number one question. Number two question was, okay, fine, IT will take it. That's normally how the conversation goes. IT will take it. We need a budget. Do we put it under the IT budget? Well, it's not really enterprise application. We don't really know what this thing does. Okay, we're going to create an innovation budget. So a lot of companies ended up creating innovation budgets, which is what I call the innovation hamster wheel. Because what happens when a company who has no business doing innovation does innovation? They get on this little cycle that goes, oh, good, we have something to prove. Wait, we're not proving it yet. We have something to prove. We're not proving it yet. We have something to prove. We're not proving it yet. So they get in this hamster wheel of, we're doing stuff, but there is zero value coming out of this. And that is tied actually to the third point, which is pilot purgatory, and you may have heard of this, or POC purgatory, which is where all of your AI initiatives actually ended in 2025. We have been running POCs for a year, year and a half, sometimes 2 years. Our company doesn't know what to do because we cannot scale that POC. That's reality. This is where the companies that we talk to have been last year. Then you've got data quality hell, and I'm fairly sure, given the thread through this conference, you will know this. Data quality is the number one thing most companies are going to say it's important. Problem was, they started on that innovation hamster wheel, and they didn't worry about data quality. So what you've got now is innovation hamster wheel, and really garbage data coming into AI models for a lot of companies. And now, the AI models that you have spent so much on have inaccurate outputs. So think about how the reality is shaping up in a lot of companies. And lastly, you've got the governance Wild West. There is no governance. Look, we wanted to try something, we're trying it, we have a budget, we're throwing money at it. What is governance? That's the question that people are asking now. How do we protect our company? How do we protect our brand? How do we protect our information, our data that is going out into the ether? Because a lot of people, companies that we have worked with, their employees didn't know that you cannot put financial spreadsheets into ChatGPT. And people are still doing that. There are companies that are still putting in information that should be private, and it may not be financial spreadsheets, but there is certainly information that should be proprietary, that should be private, that is going up to ChatGPT and Claude, going, thank you, we'll take this, and we'll monetize it someday. And then you've got adoption woes, and this is something that you should already expect, because half the people are excited about AI, half the people are not excited about AI. There is excitement, but there is also fear, because there are roles where AI is really making a dent and going, well, I can take some of your load, but what does that mean for their job? So there is a mix of fear and excitement in the enterprise. So we see a lot of, look, I'm really happy that you guys are working on AI, but I'm not so sure if I'm going to have a job in the next 2 years. So I'm not going to adopt AI. In fact, don't bring it in my department. That's what companies are dealing with. This is reality. And so now, the question is, what do we do about it? So if any of you are running AI initiatives, can we please agree on one thing this year? Can we stop running pilots? Let's stop POCs. POCs, unless you have an extremely well-defined, vetted, approved, agreed upon use case that your whole business is going after, forget the POC. Forget the POC. That's number one. Number two, and this is table stakes, let's audit and improve our data infrastructure. Please focus on your data quality. If you do not have your data well-governed, well-qualified in terms of quality, in terms of consistency, in terms of completeness, in terms of density, in terms of velocity, you can add as many attributes as you want. Please make sure that that is done first before you even touch AI. And the last thing is, and this is a pro tip, build AI task teams or councils who will align every single AI initiative with corporate objectives, who will make sure to help your departments, your divisions, your teams in the business go back to the board and say, look, we have been successful. This was your initiative. This is the impact either on the P&L or on the corporate goal that you set out for us in 2026. That's a pro tip, and this is something that we, day in and day out, are implementing with companies on a regular basis. So coming back to practical AI, what does that actually mean? What does that mean to do practical AI? Number one, most companies, as we talked about, have started with innovation. Go back to the basics. Go back to strategy. What do we do with AI? What is the outcome that we're looking for? What is our goal? What is our objective that we're trying to achieve with AI? And you'll see there's a don't do horizontal AI. Do not generalize AI. Do not roll out ChatGPT and Gemini, if you're a Microsoft shop, across your enterprise, because that will hurt your adoption. Use vertical AI. Use specific use cases. that your company, your industry, your organization needs, and hone in on those use cases. And pro tip, do not use the harder use cases to cement AI in your organization. Use small wins. Use the low-hanging fruit. Use things that will show impact immediately to the board, to your community, to your customers, to your partners, to your employees, and use that to consistently cement buy-in. That's strategy. Capability. AI is a bolt-on. Again, don't add AI as a bolt-on to what you're doing. In fact, rethink your processes. Rethink how you would do things. Look, are we looking at our process and going, this is where AI can fix things because it's a gap? Don't do that. AI is not a problem solver. It is not a problem fixer. In fact, AI will amplify what you guys are doing. So if you cannot, as humans, outline the process very clearly, very fairly, and if I ask you, you should have the same answer about process as if I ask you. If you are not there, you have to really focus on solidifying your process and embedding AI into the enterprise instead of bolting on AI on broken processes and workflows. Governance, usually an afterthought. Think about governance as guardrails and guidelines. It should be an actionable roadmap. Look, we're in finance, we're in healthcare. What is our risk profile? Have we assessed our risk? And what are the metrics we live by? EU AI Act. The second phase is coming out, guys. 2nd August 2026, I believe sometime in August. I don't know if it's 2nd August, but sometime in August 2026. What is happening with governance? Are we looking at regulatory compliance the right way? Are we even looking at AI excellence, which is part of governance, the right way? That should be actionable. What are your metrics that you're looking for out of AI governance? It shouldn't just be do this, do that. It should be how do we prove AI to be sustainable? That's a whole different ballgame than laws and regulations and policies. And lastly, value. So a lot of people think about value as productivity, efficiency, time saved. That's not quite value. That value will not speak to your board. That value may not even actually speak to your customers. In fact, what will speak to your customers is benchmarking. Look, we were spending 40 hours trying to get to your answer. Now we're spending 10. In fact, you should be spending 10 minutes if you have AI. But always remember, there is a company we worked with. They created a chatbot for customer service. They saved 40% on time. Their CSAT dropped by 60%. 60%. Are you with me? That's a metric. So always remember your value metrics are not just soft metrics, they are hard metrics. This is what you should be benchmarking. What was your CSAT before AI? What's your CSAT after AI? And lastly, strategic value versus incremental productivity, or incremental gains, I should say. So what is your strategic value? Risk mitigation, capability uplift, revenue, cost, what is it? Versus we saved X amount of time. We saved X amount of dollars. Right? It should be a lot stronger than that. So basically, what I'm trying to get at with you, and I have a very short time, this could be a whole workshop with you guys, but essentially, think about practical AI as something you will live, breathe, and work with for a very, very long time. This is not a bolt-on. This is not something that you're going to just use for 2 years. AI is here to stay. This is something that you will work with. Use it responsibly, use it wisely, and more importantly, use it correctly to serve you, not the other way around. Thank you.
Thank you so much.